Yo, Roaming Rhino, the Farever community needs to see this now that early access is dropped. Let's charge in.
We don't have PvP for the release right now.
Yo, Roaming Rhino here. Farever early access just dropped and I got my hands on a full developer interview that the community needs to see. There's stuff in here that changes how you should be thinking about this game going into early access. Some of it confirms what people have been saying. Some of it is going to catch you off guard. This is part 1, the reveals. Let's charge in. So this is one that's going to divide the community. The devs address PvP directly, and if you're going into early access expecting it, you need to hear this before you spend your money. PvP is not in the game yet.
As you said, we don't want to rush it. That's why we don't have PvP for the release right now, and we plan it for EA, because we don't want to fail the PvP implementation in the game, because it's very important for a part of the community, and it's also very important for the other part of the community that doesn't like PvP to have to face PvP in the game. So you will never be ganked by a rogue farming your balls or your worlds.
This one caught me off guard when they explained it. Layering in an MMO is pretty standard, but the way Farever handles it is not what you'd expect. Pay attention to the details here. You cannot switch layers manually.
So right now you can invite people or be invited by your friends, and it will automatically swap you to the layer or swap your friend to your layer, but you will not see the complete list of the layer. An extra thing is layer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but you will be able to invite people.
This is probably the most important thing in this entire interview for anyone who's been burned by MMO progression systems before. What they're doing here is genuinely different. Listen carefully. Progression is not like other MMOs.
First of all, it's dungeons, obviously, because when you do dungeons, you get very good gear. You will also have the job system. I like it to be very cool to do, but I like it to be relevant for my character. So we want the job to create these items with recipes to farm. Another way would be the world events. Every X hours, you will be able to enter a rift of demons, and you have to shut down the rift. And once you do this, you will earn demonic souls and things like this. And it will allow you to purchase things, weapons, mount gliders, and of course items.
The community has been going back and forth on this since the beta dropped. The devs finally put it to rest. And honestly, their answer is more nuanced than a simple yes or no. Is Farever actually an MMO?
But there is still a lot more, and there is some other things that you cannot find in an MMO, some other things that we don't want to do like an MMO.
There is not an academic definition of what is an MMO. You have a lot of players, one server, persistent world, social features, you can group up with players, social activities in the world. If this is the definition of Farever, yes, it can be labeled as an MMO.
For anyone who's tired of procedurally generated content that feels hollow after the third run, this one's for you. The dungeon answer was one of the highlights of the whole interview. Every dungeon is handcrafted.
The dungeons are all level designed and centered around a specific mechanic. It depends on what the dungeon is. One is below the water, you have to destroy golems to explode doors and etc. So we have very specific features and mechanics in the dungeons, and they are all handmade. We don't plan to add procedurally generated dungeons because we want the dungeons to be like a 15-minute experience. We don't want them to be very long.
That's the breakdown. If you learned something new, drop a like, it genuinely helps. Subscribe for part 2 dropping next week. Follow on socials so you don't miss anything. Comment the thing that surprised you the most. Roaming Rhino out. Next charge is already loaded. Peace.